run through this kind of introduction to the project, just that takes a couple of minutes. And then Namera actually will walk everybody through the submission system. So a very kind of practical kind of way how to submit your abstract for this year on the conference theme. And if there's any more detailed questions after that, we can just have an open chat. So as the presentation says, the ESG project is the largest social science research network on governance and global environmental change. And we are a social science research network primarily, but indeed this year we really welcome scholars from all kinds of disciplines to join us in our annual conference. What we do, I guess, we're global, we're interdisciplinary, and we aim to advance knowledge at the interface between global environmental change and governance. Practically, I guess that means that we want to foster a very inclusive, vibrant, and diverse community, and we want to encourage collaboration across disciplines, across geographies, and across career stages. These are some of our aims. Again, we want to more and more researchers getting involved in Earth system governance research. There's strength in numbers, and we believe in the value of social sciences and collaboration. So we also want to stimulate and facilitate research collaborations and make people feel part of a vibrant community. And finally, we hope that we empower researchers to inform and advise at the science policy interface as a wider group. We have a scientific steering committee of 12 members. They are diverse and spread across the globe, and they meet 4 times a year, and they really kind of lead the scientific direction of the project. They are helped by our team here at the International Project Office. We have 3 staff, and we work with the scientific steering committee. So we'll be really working this year with Radboud University to organize the conference, as we have done in other years with other partner universities. We have research centres throughout the globe, so wherever you're based, perhaps there is one nearby to you that you can find on the website. And we kind of primarily engage through task forces and working groups. We have 9 active task forces and 6 active working groups. They meet every year at the conference. So again, if you refer to our website, you can really find the task force or working group that is most relevant to you or what you're most interested in. And they will be meeting at the conference every year as that kind of primary meeting way to set their agenda for the year. So that's a really important and great opportunity at the conference every year. We build a lot of our research agenda around our science and implementation plan, the latest version, which was written in 2018. And you'll notice that when you go to submit an abstract for our conference, that it will really be built around the 5 research lenses of our science and implementation plan. You can see those on the right. So there's architecture and agency, democracy and power, justice and allocation, anticipation and imagination, and finally adaptiveness and reflexivity. So these research lenses will kind of shape how we build the panels for the conference, as well as other keywords that you include in your abstract. But that is something that's unique about our community, in that we really use these lenses to shape conversations. Of course, you're always welcome to publish with the Earth System Governance Project. We have a journal. The fee to publish with our journal is actually waived until May 2023. So please check out our journal online, especially if for concrete results that come out of the project, out of the conference. You're really welcome to use our publication outlets to bring your research forward after the conference. So I guess, yeah, the annual conference really is our key event each year to mobilize our community and bring people together. And it was funny, I think we didn't meet really as a huge network since Mexico in 2019. So we were very excited to come together this year as a large group in Toronto for one of our biggest conferences ever. And it's built on a tradition of 13 annual conferences since 2007. So our community has a great longevity to it. And yeah, I guess we're here specifically now to talk about the Radboud conference, which is organised with the Radboud Centre for Sustainability Challenges, with chairs Ingrid Visser and Hammakers and Berke Wick, as well as Sandra Chan and Christina Inoue from our Scientific Steering Committee. So you can see the dates here. It's going to be from the 24th till the 26th of October, but we've just opened the call for papers. So there is some time to submit abstracts in terms of, we have February 15th as our first deadline for abstracts and full panels, and March 1st for the innovative sessions. But we did think that this year we are kind of pushing to a new theme with our 6th stream for inter and transdisciplinary research this year. So we really wanted to give scholars time to kind of build these panels, because it could be somewhat more complex than the simple panel in the past with the new theme. We say that the theme is for inter and transdisciplinarity for sustainability transformations. And we really invite the papers and panels that present inter and or transdisciplinary problem-driven research on sustainability transformations. We ask core questions such as how do different disciplines contribute to solving sustainability challenges? What are the limits of disciplinary approaches? How can inter and or transdisciplinary research contribute to solving major sustainability challenges? There are more questions, and these can all be found in the call for papers that is released on our website. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Numera just to go through a couple of the practical elements of submitting a paper, what the requirements are, and yeah, I mean, maybe if there are any questions at this stage, you're very welcome to ask it. I don't want to just have it as a one-way dialogue, but if there's no hands up in the next couple of seconds, maybe Numera can just continue with the kind of very practical details of submitting an abstract for the conference. Of course, an inspirational quote to bridge. Oh, okay. Yeah, Mark, did you want to mention something?
Yeah, so I have a question. So I'm just kind of seeing what. So I have some idea, and I might want to submit it to this conference. But the questions you pose in the previous slide is more about how can disciplines work together, and not more practically like what kind of, I don't know, architecture or what kind of would work. How is this in this conference?
Yeah, I mean, this is very much so a general blurb that I took from our call for papers, but we're very much so interested in exploring and welcoming these questions that go a lot deeper into, for example, the architecture of these collaborations.
Okay, that's good. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. This is a general outlook that I've kind of extracted from the call for papers. But yeah, very much so appreciate that a deeper exploration and implementation would be exciting. And I think we also mentioned in the call for papers that we really want what we're taking from this conference to inform our network's work in the next subsequent years. So we're going to kind of encourage a culture of taking a lot of notes and writing up a lot of kind of the results of what this transdisciplinarity, for example, will mean for our network in the future.
Okay, great.
Okay, thanks for the question.
Then we will go into the more practical side of the conference. We will be hosting our abstract review system and scheduling in Conftool, which is a conference management tool that is available online. And if you go to our website, there are links to this Conftool system where you can create an account and submit your contribution. The submission of your contribution is pretty straightforward, and the system should be able to guide you through. But if you have any questions about them, you can ask them now, but also reach us at the email that will be listed at the end of the presentation. So we are accepting 3 kinds of submissions: individual paper abstracts, full panel proposals, which are bound abstracts of a few people surrounding a similar topic. Those are both due February 15th, and we also invite innovative session proposals, which are a bit more free form, that could take the form of panel discussions or open tables. The abstract requirements, there are a maximum of 400 words, and they should not include any name of authors, references, or footnotes. And the Conftool system also doesn't really allow for any layout options, so the simplest layout is the best. You also need to include some keywords for your research, so those are used to make panels, as well as including the stream that you think your research fits in the best, which is all used later on to form the panels thematically. If you do not have all your findings yet, you are still welcome to submit your abstracts, and I would suggest to focus on why they will be very important and relevant. We are actually in January 16th also hosting, together with the Radboud organizing team, a webinar on the 6th conference theme, so the transdisciplinary interdisciplinarity. and also about how to write a high quality abstract or panel to submit to the conference. For the review process, 3 reviewers will review every abstract, and this will be done in a double anonymous fashion, and they will independently rate the abstract on a scale of 1 to 5. This will happen after the submission is closed in February, and acceptance status will be notified by April 10th. And after this, the COMF2 system will be updated and the registration will also open up. This is done in the same system and will be done after the notification of acceptance, and more info about the fees and the discounts will be available in March. So at the conference, there are also early career activities, which I participated in myself last October in Toronto. And we did, for example, a hike, but there's networking activities, both along the piers, but also you also have the chance to speak to some higher senior scholars to get advice and inspiration. So I would highly suggest participating in them if you have the chance. We also have a mentorship program where you can sign up to be linked to a mentor and throughout the year. More information about that is also on the website, and the deadline is the 22nd of January. So there's still some time to sign up. We also would like to emphasize that the call for papers is open for all backgrounds, including students. I myself was still a master's student when I applied, and I handed in my thesis research, so it is possible. And you shouldn't just because you're a student, let it stop you to apply. And also, especially with the 6th stream, we invite practitioners to join as well. Another possibility to become involved before the conference is the task forces or working group, which I did as well. And it really helps because you're participating in a smaller group in a topic that you choose. So most often, if you have research in there, it's very interesting and a good way to meet some more people in the community. We are also setting up, in collaboration with a committee, the SouthSouth Dialogues program, and this is aimed at promoting accessibility for Global South scholars in the network and also to facilitate direct dialogue on specific topics. There will be some events, mostly online next year, and on the conference there is also a day with activities dedicated to these topics. Depending on the country of origin, you might need a visa. We would suggest to apply as early as possible, as we have experienced some delays in the past. And it's such a shame just because you're not allowed to come just because of the visa. It says 15 to 60 working days on average waiting time, but we advise to, as soon as you know that you want to come, immediately apply to a visa to allow as much time as possible. It's also possible to request a personalized letter of invitation that you can submit in your visa process to make the process easier. As I mentioned before, we have a webinar on the 16th of January, where we and the Radboud team will expand on the conference theme and its relevance and tips for how to write an transdisciplinary panel or innovative session. So you're all welcome to join. This will be promoted on our platforms, and you can sign up there as well. So this is our email where you can reach us with any questions if you think of them later on. I think we would be very glad to see you in Nijmegen, which is on the picture, next year.